In a quiet corner of the city, where the noise of life often drowns out the cries of the smallest souls, there lay a tiny kitten, alone, trembling, and barely holding on. She had lost her mother, and with her she had lost the only protection she had ever known. At just 30 days old, she was wandering the streets, blind to the world and unaware of the danger surrounding her. When the rescue team first found her, she was curled up against a cold wall, too weak to move, too scared to cry. Her tiny body was frail, and her eyes clouded, lifeless and unresponsive. It was clear she hadn't seen anything for days. Her vision, the doctors would later say, was beyond saving. "She's just a baby," one of the rescuers whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. "How did the world let this happen to someone so small?" At the vet clinic, the prognosis was grim. The doctors were honest. Her condition was critical. She was severely dehydrated, underweight, and blind. They said there was little chance she would survive. But even in the face of hopelessness, the rescue team made a quiet vow. "Maybe we can't save her life," one volunteer said gently. "But we can make sure she knows love before she goes. Even if we only have a few days, let's make them beautiful." And so they did. They gave the kitten a name, Vida, a name that means life. "We'll give her all the warmth she's never felt," said one of the caretakers, gently cradling Vida in a soft blanket. "She deserves to feel peace, even just once." They took turns holding her close to their chests, whispering comforting words as her tiny heartbeat fluttered against their skin. They fed her with the softest milk, one drop at a time. They played calming music and placed her on warm beds. They cleaned her eyes every few hours, even knowing she would never see again. "She purred today," one of them said with a smile, holding Vida close. "Can you believe it? Even now she still purrs. She knows we love her." Vida's time was brief, but it was filled with tenderness. On the 4th day, she stopped breathing. There was no warning, no sign of pain. She simply let go. Peacefully, quietly, surrounded by people who loved her. Everyone in the room fell silent. One volunteer gently picked up her little body and whispered through her tears, "You weren't alone. You were loved. And now, you're free." They lit a candle for her and sat in a circle, honouring her life, not for what it could have been, but for what it was in those precious days. "Even though she's gone," another rescuer said softly, "I'm so glad she didn't die alone on that street. She knew warmth, she knew affection, she knew peace." And that was everything. Vida's story is not just about tragedy, it's about love in its purest, most selfless form. It's a reminder that every life, no matter how short, has value, that every creature deserves kindness, even if we only meet them for a moment. To love, even knowing we might lose, is the bravest thing we can do. And that's what animal rescue is all about. It's about choosing compassion. It's about being there when no one else is. It's about showing the forgotten and the fragile that they matter. Vida never opened her eyes to see the people who loved her, but she felt them. She felt their warmth, their hands, their hearts. And in her final moments, she knew peace. So please, if this story has touched your heart, don't let it end here. Share Vida's story. Remind others that even the smallest lives are worth fighting for. Support your local rescues, volunteer, donate, adopt, and always choose love. Vida may not have lived long, but she left behind something powerful. The knowledge that love can transform even the briefest life into something beautiful. Thank you for reading. Thank you for caring. And thank you for helping us spread the message that every animal deserves to feel safe, loved, and remembered. The worst kind of heartbreak isn't when someone doesn't love you. It's when they love you just for a little while and then decide you're no longer worth it. Isn't that a kind of betrayal? Isn't that a silent crime against the loyalty that animals offer us so freely? This is the story of Gabriel, a cat who once had a home, a name, and someone who called him my baby. Gabriel was cherished, held in warm arms, and whispered to with affection. For a while, his world was perfect. He trusted with his whole heart, the way animals do, with no hesitation and no conditions. But one day, that love stopped, just like that. No one told Gabriel why, and like so many abandoned animals, he waited. Days turned to weeks, and still he clung to hope. He wandered the streets, frail and confused, searching for the familiar scent of home, the sound of the voice he missed. It was heartbreaking, because the very person he longed for was the one who had turned away from him. By the time Gabriel was rescued, his little body was already breaking down. A group of kind-hearted volunteers found him huddled beside a wall. His eyes dim, his breathing laboured. He was thin to the bone and couldn't even lift his head to greet them. But even then, something in his expression seemed to whisper, "I want to live." The first vet visit revealed the extent of his suffering. A painful abscess on his back leg, severe ulcers in his mouth, a respiratory infection, and deep malnutrition. His body was exhausted, but his spirit still flickered. "We'll do everything we can," a volunteer whispered to him gently, stroking his matted fur. "You're not alone anymore, Gabriel. You are loved." Due to the inflammation in his gums, Gabriel could barely eat. The vet explained that dental surgery was urgent. His teeth had to be removed to relieve the pain and help him heal. And so, just a day later, Gabriel underwent surgery. Something shifted after that. For the first time, he reached for food. Slowly, cautiously, he began to eat. It was a tiny victory, but one that brought smiles and tears to those caring for him. "He wants to live," one rescuer said joyfully. "He's fighting." His leg wound was stitched up. His X-rays and ultrasounds came back normal, and everyone believed Gabriel was finally on the path to recovery. He was eating, walking, and even purring in his sleep. He would nuzzle into the volunteer who stayed by his side every day, rubbing his face against her cheek. "He knows we love him," she whispered. "He can feel it." But fate wasn't quite done testing him. A week later, Gabriel suddenly stopped eating again. His energy plummeted. Alarmed, the team rushed him back to the vet. Blood tests revealed something terrifying: severe anemia. The iron in his blood had dropped dangerously low, and without immediate intervention, Gabriel wouldn't survive. A blood transfusion was administered right away. Everyone was silent, waiting, hoping. The vet gave no guarantees. "His chances are 50-50, he said softly, "but we're doing all we can." And so, the volunteers stayed by his side day and night, whispering encouragements, holding his paw, hoping he could feel how much he mattered. "I believe in you, Gabriel," one of them whispered as he lay hooked up to IVs. "You're strong, you've come so far. Please stay with us." And somehow Gabriel heard them, not with his ears, but with his heart. He began to improve. Little by little he fought his way back. His appetite returned, and this time he didn't stop. His eyes grew brighter, his steps steadier. He purred constantly now, loud, rumbling purrs that filled the room with hope. "He's back," someone said, crying. "Our boy is back." It took 2 full weeks of treatment, love, and unwavering care. But Gabriel made it, and not just physically, emotionally too. He became more affectionate with the volunteer who'd been with him from the start, following her around, curling up in her lap, nuzzling her neck with soft meows. "He really loves me," she said one day, beaming, "and I love him so much." Gabriel's transformation was more than just medical. It was a story of resilience, of what love can do when the world has given up. A cat once abandoned, now cherished. A soul once forgotten, now deeply loved. And in that love, there was healing. not just for Gabriel, but for every person who had walked beside him.
Kisses? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. Can I have one more kiss? One more kiss, Gabriel. Can I have a kiss? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Thank you. One more kiss? Thank you. One more. Give mommy kisses. Too many kisses. Yeah? Okay.
We often say that this world is cruel, but maybe, just maybe, that isn't the whole story. Because every time someone chooses to rescue instead of abandon, every time someone stays instead of walking away, this world becomes a little more beautiful. Gabriel's story is a reminder that love saves,